Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. Alright, so it's February 15th in Japan, which means Valentine's Day is technically over here. For the other half of the world, I guess you will be going through Valentine's Day as I'm recording this video, but definitely by the time it goes up, technically it'll be like I'm a little tardy, okay? I'm not on time. I do apologize for that, but I still think that the Valentine's Day Colourpop collection for 2024 deserves a little bit of a spotlight. So I have all the items here. I've unboxed and swatched most of them, but let me just give you a quick rundown of the whole collection. So the title of the collection is called Lost in Love. As you can see, it has this really cute, like retro 90s style bubble heart design, which is present in all the unicarton packaging as well. Not to get ahead of myself, but I have to say that on first sight, I could just tell that this was going to be probably my favorite Valentine's Day collection from Colourpop so far as of recent years. So just a quick rundown, there's a lot of items in this collection, but I actually think it's like the perfect size. So first off, we have, of course, the eyeshadow palette called Lost in Love. Now this one, it actually says eyeshadow palette on the back as opposed to pressed pigment palette, which I'm more used to seeing from Colourpop. I guess that's a good thing because in order to call something an eyeshadow palette, they need to pass some sort of like regulations to make sure that every single shade in here is eye safe. Because I know that for some of the pressed powder palettes, maybe the pressed glitters, or yeah, usually it's the glitter shades that may technically not be safe for the eye area, but since this one is called an eyeshadow palette, I think we can safely assume that these are all safe. So yeah, this is a color story, which is so up my alley. I love that they combined pink and orange for this palette. This is like one of my favorite color combos, probably. And I don't know why I'm thinking Prada. I think Prada might have had a perfume that was pink and orange. Is that Hard Candy or something? I don't know. But the point is, it's like basically two of my favorite colors that I like to use in my makeup more often than not. And then we have 3 of these heart compacts. This is what the box looks like. I think this is a new formulation. It's called the Lip and Cheek Balm. So unlike the powder heart-shaped blushes that they've come out with in the past 2 years or so, I don't know, these are a cream formulation. And as the name suggests, these are multi-purpose, so they can be used on both the lips and the cheeks. Although I'll be honest with you, every time I see a multi-use makeup product that claims to work for both lips and cheeks, I tend to just stick to the cheek application more than I would use it on my lips, just because I have so many other superior lip products that I prefer to use any day over like a hybrid formulation, if that makes sense. But that being said, I am very happy that they decided to go with a balmy cream formulation this time, because you know, you can only do so much with the powder blushes. And just as a comparison, this is what the lip and cheek balm looks like against the regular pressed powder blush. So you can see this one is shiny and this one is matte. I think, I don't know, is that a little bit thinner? It feels thinner, maybe just because this one is glossy. But yeah, it's basically, no, it's the same size. The collection also comes with one glitterly obsessed body glitter gel in the shade Sparks. It's in a really nice, like, deep watermelony pink shade. And these are really great for if you just want to add some really impactful glitter to your look. I think I own one more of these. It was like from the Muppets collection. So yeah, this one with the Miss Piggy. So now I have a light pink and a dark pink. Love it, love it, love it. Can never have too many pinks. These are very, very intense though, like huge glitter chunks. Kind of overwhelming if you're into more of the delicate Asian makeup style, but definitely good to have in your arsenal. There's also 3 Jelly Much eyeshadows. I think this would be the first time that I've ever tried or owned a Jelly Much eyeshadow from Colourpop. Actually, wait, I think you can see it better this way. So there's like a frosty pink, almost a white shade, a classic like pale metallic baby pink, and a more, again, watermelony corally pink. And then finally we have 3 of the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lips, which I'm actually kind of excited for because I feel like Colourpop's lip products are sometimes hit or miss, especially the packaging. Like, for example, I really like the Luxe lip oil from Colourpop, but I really dislike the component or the container for that one. It's just very cheap to me, like it's too large, and clunky. But these, the packaging actually feels really nice and luxe, and you can see with the holographic detailing. I don't know, it's just giving me retro, like Claire's 90s girly girl vibes. Oh, and I almost forgot apparently it is a latex-free heart-shaped blending sponge that changes from red to pink when wet. I already have my foundation and base and everything applied, but I think I'll use this with the cheek balms later. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with eyes as usual. I will apply my Tone Activator Primer from Kaleidos. So I want to do kind of like a combined pink and orange gradient situation, and I don't really have a defined plan, so let's just dig in. I'm going in with Ever and Ever for the base color, background color, whatever you want to call it. Sorry if the resolution is not that clear. I'm filming on my in-camera on my iPhone because the SD card for my actual camera is like not working. The camera itself is okay, but I think I need a new SD card. It's just too worn out. The camera is not recognizing it. All right, now I'm going in with Amoris just to deepen up the edges. Ooh, that was a lot. So just concentrating on the outer V. So far that is looking really good. The mattes are blending really well. This feels like the good old classic Colourpop eyeshadow formula that I always knew. I thought I was gonna do like a gradient of orange to pink, but I forgot that I have no space on my eyelids, so I think actually what would be better is if I just do the pink on the inside of the eyes. So the outside is the coral and the inside will be the pink. Hopefully this works out. This pink down here, Just Us, this Malibu Barbie cool toned fuchsia pink, you guys know that is my jam. Like, hello. Oh, my nail polish is from Revlon, by the way. I actually love these, the Ultra HD Snap polishes, and this one is in the shade I love the name, Rule the World. Oh my god, what a perfect name. I am going to take a bit of a chance and use this Jelly Much shadow in Forever Valentine. It's like the super frosty pink. I'm gonna use this on the center of my lids to add a little bit of pop. Let's hope that it works well on top of eyeshadows. It's hard to get the exact amount on my brush. It's either too much or too little. Ooh, okay, that's a lot. Yeah. No, but that's looking good. Like, you see how I can shear it out, and then after it dries, if I wanted to, I could add another layer to make it more intense. I think these would be like easier to apply with a finger if you're doing just a simple wash all over the lids. It's a little bit hard to pick up with a brush because it has like a gelatinous, but it applies really well though, and once it's on, obviously it's not going to budge because it's like a gel. Just out of curiosity, I really want to try this coral shade. It's called Moon and Stars. It's like a metallic watermelony shade. Don't really come across this that often. I'm just gonna place that over like the outer half of the center of my lid. Ooh, that is super, giving me like a super wet, dramatic, glistening look. Yeah, I do pretty much like the way these Jelly Much shadows look. They are a little bit tricky to spread out with a brush at least, but again, I'm like applying it over my eyeshadow. I'm sure it'll be easier if you just apply it directly to your lids. I'm just gonna add a little bit of Totally Smitten on top of the places where I put the Forever Valentine Jelly Much shadow. I don't think this is a pressed glitter. No, there's no pressed glitters in this palette. This would be just a regular glitter metallic formula. All of that, and guess what? We are still not done with the glitter. I have to use at least a little bit of this Glitterly Obsessed gel. Am I the only one who kind of likes the way that these smell? It has like a fragrance to it, but it also smells like petroleum jelly, or you know, that chemical smell. But I like it. Ooh, okay. I'm weird. Don't mind me. Just take like the tiniest bit. I'm concentrating on like the center of my lids, so the lower lid as well as the upper area here on top of my fold. Ooh, that is too much. Let me take some off. This glitter, while it definitely looks extra in real life, it's great for taking photos, you have to admit. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyeliner and lashes and stuff really quickly offline, and I'll be back for the rest of the face. Whew, that took forever. I got these little individual lashes. Oh my god, they're so annoying. Never again. I mean, they look fine. They look great and natural. When you put them on, you can adjust, you can customize the curve of the entire eyelash better that way, but it just takes way too freaking long. I am going to stick with my strip lashes after this. Thank you very much. So I am going to open this heart blending sponge. Feels kind of rough. You guys know I'm one of those people that I'm still like 10 toes down for the OG Beauty Blender. That did not change color at all. Am I missing something? It says that we need warm water. Okay, this water is ice cold, so that would make sense. Let me go get some warm water. All right, I got the warm water. Let's see if there's any difference. I see a little bit of pink. Is that just my imagination? Yes, there it is. All right, anyway, so I'm gonna go in first with Heart's Content. Ooh, that is brighter than I thought it would be. Doesn't that look brighter than it looks in the pan? Maybe mixed with like my actual skin undertones. That's what's making it brighter. Okay, I don't like this sponge. It's too rough for me. We're going to set that to the side. I have these little mini powder puffs from Flower Nose. Yeah, these are like super soft. Okay, and then just for the sake of like testing things out, I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of this one, Cutesy Wootsy. Ooh, I love that name. This is my signature hot fuchsia Barbie magenta color. It's kind of not matching the eye look, I guess because I focused more on the coral this time, but I feel like that's what Valentine's Day is all about though. Like mixing all of the pink shades that you have together that don't necessarily match. See, my dress is this pale pink, and then I have the hot pink nails and the mismatched eyes and cheeks. Okay, now finally we can try out the ultra glossy lips. So let me see, I'm going to swatch all 3 shades for you, but I want to end on the shade that matches this look the most. I think this one, right? Because it matches my cheeks. So I will swatch the lightest one first. This is called One Kiss. You could put this in like the center of a darker lip combo as well. Yeah, I don't think I like this as a lip color nearly as much as I like it as a blush. I mean, okay, maybe I take that back. That looks kind of cute actually. Let's try Lover Era. Sounds like a K-pop group or something. So the last shade, which is like this cooler mid-toned pink, it's called Taken. We are going to end on this one, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on everything. There's shimmer in all 3 glosses, by the way, but they're kind of like so microfine that they're undetectable. See, if you look from far away, you can't really tell if there's glitter on my lips or if it's just the shine from the light. All right, so this is the finished look. I am fully living my Prada hard candy fantasy right now. It's so crazy, like I never actually owned or used that perfume, but yet somehow the design of the bottle is ingrained so heavily in my mind that these colors, like the pink and the orange together, just automatically reminds me of Prada candy. That's the power of marketing. All right, so I am going to just briefly go through each item or each category and give you my final thoughts on each. I think you can probably already guess from what I said in the intro, but let's start off with the Lost in Love eyeshadow palette. So as I predicted, this is my favorite out of all the Valentine's palettes that Colourpop has put out. I did really enjoy Secret Admirer. This was from 2 years back. The one last year, Flirty Talk, I think it was called, that one did not jive with at all. Something was up with the formula in that one. It was like kind of patchy and just not the best to work with. But this Secret Admirer palette I actually enjoyed for quite some time, even far past the initial hype. I used it quite a bit. It definitely has like more neutrals than what we have in this year's Lost in Love collection. But if I had to choose between the two, I think I would pick this one to be my favorite, not just for the color story, but also because I just like the 12 pan layout. I like how the pans are a little bit larger, and I feel like it's going to be easier to keep clean than the Secret Admirer palette. I mean, I guess that logic doesn't really make much sense because they're both just the regular magnetic, you know, cardboard packaging. But if you look at this one, I don't really know why, but somehow this one is just so difficult to keep clean. Like, I've wiped this down several times and to no avail. It just always ends up looking busted and a mess like this, which is a good thing because that shows that it's well loved. But yeah, I prefer the Lost in Love, and I feel like I might have to revisit fairly soon for a second look actually, because I feel like I could go even more avant-garde, like even more bold than I did today, because the colors are still quite on the natural spectrum, like the pinks and the peaches, but yet you have so many like bolder, amped up versions of the shades. It gives you a really good range in just one palette. You have the option to really do a whole range of looks, from super natural and light to more on the edgy editorial side, or somewhere in between. Like, I would classify today's look as somewhere in between. The Jelly Much shadows, where's the third one? I was pleasantly surprised. So this was my first time using Colourpop's Jelly Much formula. It's not a 10 out of 10. Like, I would maybe give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. Again, I feel like if you were to just use these as like a one and done swipe across your bare lid for the day, that would be relatively straightforward and easy to apply and all of that. But if you wanted to combine these with eyeshadows or just, you know, use it as part of a larger look like I did today, it does require a little bit of finesse to spread out evenly. Since it is jelly, like, it's not technically a liquid, it is a jelly, so you have to spread it out quickly before it dries, and also you have to just be mindful of the amount of product that you put on in one go. I think you can definitely layer these and build these up, but if you put on too much of a layer and it happens to dry down before you can spread it all out properly, it can somewhat run the risk of emphasizing your wrinkles or looking almost scaly. Again, I was able to figure it out. I'm happy with the way that it looks on my eye look today, but just something to be mindful of. And also the fact that it might, I don't know, just be mindful that the formula might also dry up a little sooner than you expect. I feel like this is an issue that I have with a few of Colourpop's products, like their Super Shock shadows as well. They do have this little stopper to keep it sealed and keep the moisture in, but I just wanted to mention because I felt like I already had to be a little careful with the application after opening and using it for the first time, so I can't imagine how is it going to be when it starts drying up a little bit, you know? I feel like these are not necessary unless you're just really into like liquid and gel eyeshadow, eye color products, or maybe if you are going to pick up any of the Jelly Much shadows, maybe just pick up like 1 or 2 shades that you know you're going to use pretty often. That way you don't really have to worry about it drying out so much down the road. But yeah, great for the inner corner though, and great as like a base to keep other pressed glitters or powdery glitters on your eyes. The lip and cheek balm, so obviously this packaging gets a 10 out of 10 from me, but I have to say I'm also very pleasantly surprised by the formula. My experience with some of Colourpop's other either liquid or cream blushes has not been 10 out of 10. I'm thinking of the Cheek Dew and the blush sticks in particular. They're fine, like you can't really mess up a blush, but I just found that with the Cheek Dew, the formula was too tacky for my liking, and the color or the blush sticks, it was also okay. I'm sorry, I'm not remembering that well, but I feel like it was a little bit too waxy for my liking, and also the formula went bad really quickly. Like all of my color sticks that I own right now, they smell really bad. Some of them I haven't even worn in a proper look yet. I've only swatched them and I just feel like they smell really bad. The formula does not hold up very well. But I have to say, with these lip and cheek balms, I feel like the formula strikes a really good balance between being like kind of glossy and dewy, but not being like overly sticky or greasy once it's settled into the skin. Like I'm quite satisfied with this finished effect. And although I'm not the biggest fan of multi-use products, particularly those that claim to be for both cheek and lips, I have to say these looked pretty cute on my lips and they didn't feel or taste weird or anything like that. Again, not 10 out of 10. Like I wouldn't say it's comparable to my holy grail lip tints from K-Beauty and J-Beauty, but you know, if you're in a pinch and you only have like one of these on you, this will absolutely have you covered for both your cheeks and lips. The Glitterly Obsessed glitter, I do really enjoy these. They are a little bit large, the glitter particles. Just so you're aware, if you're used to like Asian brands that have these super fine micro glitters, you may not like this. Me personally, I do like to have these on hand just in case I'm in a really festive mood. I don't think you can ever have too many options for glitters, so it's nice to have the super big chunky ones as well to sprinkle throughout if I so desire. It's all about the layering. Like if you really want to take your eye glitter game to the next level, it's tedious, but it'll pay off if you layer. Like start off with a microfine glitter base and then, you know, put on your favorite J-Beauty or K-Beauty liquid glitter, and then you can top it off. Put a few big old chunks on there as the final accent, you know? So last but not least, we come on to the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lips. Now, you guys may know that I absolutely despise like that traditional old school super sticky lip gloss type of formula. This is why I typically don't go for Western lip glosses. Asian brands do the non-sticky lip glosses that still have a little bit of viscosity, a little bit of shape to them, much better in my opinion. So that's why I am not a fan of the Colourpop Luxe lip gloss at all. That was the only lip gloss formula I've ever tried from Colourpop, and I've avoided any of their other glossy formulations ever since because that gloss was so sticky and bad. So I will say I am pretty pleasantly surprised by the ultra glossy lip formulation. Again, not only is the packaging like much more high quality, it just fits my vibe better than the old Luxe lip gloss packaging. So not only is there that, the formula itself is not bad. Upon a first application, I will say I was a little bit disappointed because it still has a little bit of that stickiness to it, but it's not overly gloopy. And I noticed that even after putting on a few layers and letting it sit for a while, it did not get like overly gloopy, right? It's okay. Again, not 10 out of 10. I feel like that's the theme of this video, but I will say it's definitely workable. Is it ever going to be my first choice in terms of formulation? No, absolutely not. I have too many favorites from my Japanese and Korean brands for that. But again, it's workable. And I feel like, you know, it's not bad in terms of the smoothing factor. Like it could fill in my wrinkles a little better. But overall, it does feel relatively comfortable. It's very flexible. I don't feel any tightness or stickiness as I'm speaking with the lip gloss on. And another thing that I do appreciate is that the color of the lip gloss is pretty true to the tube. So it's not just like showing up as this darker color in the tube and then going on really sheer. There actually is quite a bit of color to these, which I do enjoy. There's also micro glitters in each of these, but you can't really see them when it's on your lips. So it's a very subtle effect. Hey, I like these colors. I mean, I like a pink lip. It's almost like a lip oil consistency now that I think about it. Like it still has, again, a little bit of that stickiness that I'm not the biggest fan of a traditional lip gloss, but the overall formula is thinner than their Luxe lip gloss. So you know what? In all honesty, I would never purchase these like just for the hell of it. I only purchased because they were part of the Lost in Love collection, but I am not mad at them at all. I'm happy to have them in my collection, and I'm happy to have the whole Valentine's Day collection. That's what I do. I always buy Colourpop's Valentine's Day launches every year. For you guys though, who may be watching this to truly try and determine which items are worth your money and which are not, I would definitely say the eyeshadow is obviously the star of the show. And then also in terms of like cost performance, the lip and cheek balms I think are a good value because you can actually use them on both your cheeks and your lips. And I mean, it's a simple gimmick, but hey, who doesn't like a heart-shaped compact? The Jelly Much eyeshadows and the ultra glossy lips, I would say don't bother if you already have other similar items in your collection that you enjoy or that you consider like some of your favorites. I don't think that these would add much to your makeup experience. And then of course the glitterly obsessed glitter, again, that just depends on your own preference or your typical makeup style. If you are more of a subtle girly, you might not find too much use for these, but if you're like me and you like to get your party on sometimes with the really loud in your face glitters, or if you just want your glitters to show up on camera, I mean, hey, this retails for $10 a tub, which I mean, that is pretty good bang for your buck. There is a similar liquid crushed glitter type of product from Shu Uemura that costs over or just about 4 times that amount. So you can bring like quite a bit of drama and pizzazz to your look for not that much investment with the Colourpop Glitterly Obsessed glitter gels. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you picked up anything from this collection or are planning to. I believe everything is still in stock. Yeah, I don't think the Colourpop Valentine's Day collections tend to sell out that often. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!